Hi, today I'm going to be talking about understanding teenagers. Why do we need to understand teenagers? Because they go through a lot. They're going through adolescence. Adolescence is the transition between childhood and adulthood. So they're transitioning from a child to an adult. So there's a lot going on. There are physical changes resulting in maybe unhappiness with the way your body looks because the body is changing so rapidly. They're seeking their self identity. From a child, you're growing into an adult, you have to find out who you are. There could be a lot of societal and family pressures on the teenager to become something, to make something of their lives. There are issues that teenagers face, like bullying, cyberbullying, peer pressure. There could be pressure to try out new things like smoking, drinking, in some terrible situations, even drugs. So there's a lot of things going on for a teenager, so we need to understand them more. They're also going through brain development right to the age of 25. While adults think from the rational part of their brain, teens are likely to think from the emotional part. So they could make emotional and wrong decisions because they're still developing their brains. So, as family, as members of society, we have to understand that teens need our support, need our understanding. And that's why this talk is labeled Understanding the Teenager. They're going through internal struggles, external struggles. Internal because they're still finding themselves, finding who they are, what they want, how they think. And then external, there's a lot of pressure from outside to be something, to become somebody. And sometimes family and friends may put pressure to become something you don't want to be. Let me share the story of Neeta, whom I met some years ago. A very lively 16-year-old daughter. Second child of a family. She had an older sister, very capable, very smart, very intelligent, and she was an average student. Her parents were both doctors. They had a thriving practice, and they wanted both their daughters to become doctors like them. The older daughter was happy to follow in their parents' footsteps, but Neeta was not at all happy. She hated being a doctor. She just loved art. She could spend hours doing art. And when she said to her parents, I want to become an artist, they just laughed. They said, what does an artist earn? It takes years for an artist to become successful. How will you live? So their priority was money and wealth and social status. They could not understand the joy that Neeta got out of her art. So this made Neeta very unhappy. Till an aunt came forward and took Neeta's side and said, let her study art. She can become a successful artist. She can earn money. Let her follow her heart. And because the aunt was held in high standing with the parents, they listened to her. There are many teenagers like Neeta, but they may not get the support that Neeta got. They may just follow in their parents' footsteps or what the parents or society wants, and they may end up leading miserable lives. One person can make a huge difference for a teenager. It could be a family member, it could be a mentor, it could be a friend, somebody who believes and trusts you and supports you through the journey of the teenage years. We also need to understand what the teen could be going through. The pressures, academic pressures, social pressures. There could be bullying, cyberbullying, pressure to conform to the friends and colleagues. A teen may not want to do certain things that are harmful, like smoking. There may be a lot of pressure to follow the friends. So to have a family that understands, that listens, that's open to listening without being judgmental, that you can come home and say that I feel worried because there's so much bullying going on. I don't feel happy about going to school. There was a true case in my state of Kerala where there was this veterinary student. He was bullied mercilessly by his seniors. He didn't say anything to his family because he didn't want to disappoint them or cause problems at home. And the bullying went on to such an extent that one day they found his dead body. People are still not sure whether it was a case of suicide or murder, but a bright, promising young man lost his life because he could not speak at home about the atrocities he was being subjected to. So let's have homes that are open to listening to the concerns of our teens. Open to where the teens can say anything without feeling that it's wrong. No, you should not say it. You should not say anything that parents will not like. It should be open where they know they will be supported. They know they can say anything and they will not be judged or rebuked. Let's have homes that understand the teenager.